Today in Tiger Talk, I was able to interview one of our own who, in an act of bravery, was able to not only save his own life, but also the lives of those around him. Many know that Nashville, Tennessee recently made global news due to a mass shooting that occurred at the Waffle House on Murfreesboro Pike. Mr. Shaw happened to be there that night, and he did the unthinkable. Although Mr. Shaw was in something like a horror movie, he somehow found the bravery to disarm that shooter, which ultimately saved the remaining lives of those around him. Today in our interview, we didn't want to drill him on what happened, but more so find an understanding on how he plans on moving forward. Thanks for tuning in to Tiger Talk. I'm the host, Marcherie Savage, and today we have a special guest here, James Shaw. Hey there, how you doing today?
Doing all right, how are you?
I'm so thankful that we finally got to get this interview with you. I know that you've been everywhere. New York Times interviews, Good Morning America. How has it been for that to get these many calls this quick?
It's been pretty hectic. Been going through a lot. Just as far as setting up interviews. Just getting I'm still a regular person, but now I have a PR group and trying to get a schedule set up. Just doing different shows and also just dealing with the loss of life and coming to terms with that.
Right. So how did you go about assembling that team to help you be able to manage all of this?
So right after the incident did happen, I was talking to the chief of police and also the mayor, and the mayor has been very gracious and understanding about the situation. And the mayor gave me contacts for that PR group, and that specific PR group. They've been really understanding. They're actually not charging me anything to do it. They're actually doing it for free because they understand the situation I'm going through. So they've been really good.
That's great. So they provided some assets to help you out how to manage all of this.
Yeah, they like I said, was a regular person. I'm an AT&T technician, and I've never had to deal with anything like this, especially on the Hollywood side of the entertainment. So they've got some assets and some people that they talk to that can really help me expand about what I'm trying to do while I have this as I hate to say this little 15 minutes of fame, to use this little platform to really expand upon the awareness of gun violence.
Right. Now we'll get back to that platform later and talk about that, because we don't want to make it seem like it's something little, because you have a huge possibility to transform it into something else. But before we dive into that, I want to talk to you a little bit about his father. We're not going to say his name because we don't want to make him famous. We want to make sure that it stays in a positive light. So about his father giving him his guns back before he moved to Tennessee, do you think that his father should be charged as well, or what's your take on that?
I feel like his father should be charged. His father knowingly surrendered the guns back to his son after the state of Illinois specifically told him that they took the guns away from him for the reason that they took it away for.
Right.
And he's actually said it on tape, and he's actually said it several times that he gave the guns back to his son, so they're not stolen.
Right.
And now that there's 4 lives that have been lost and killed with those specific guns from his son, I feel like he's pretty much close to accessory to murder.
Right, definitely. Also, they just added about 5 counts, more warrants and counts of charges to him. Do you think that the Justice Department is doing their job in that area?
I think they're doing it. Unfortunately, the way justice works, it's going to be a little bit slow because they have to make sure everything is foolproof and everything could be 100%
Right.
correct and is a fact. So unfortunately, it's a little bit slow because he needs to be detained, and he needs to be in prison as fast as possible.
Right, definitely, I agree with that. Now, you mentioned earlier that it's a small platform, and I told you that it can be a large platform. Now, overnight, you have been everywhere interviewing all types of things. So with this platform, do you plan on taking a whole career change and maybe doing public speaking, or I don't know, some type of security, something? What do you think?
I'm not exactly sure. I've been thinking about it with some of the guys I'm close to, some of my fraternal brothers,
Right.
about what I think I should do. So I was a technician before this, like I said, but this type of incident will change your life, and I'm gonna make sure it changes my life for the better, and I'm gonna try to bring some positivity out of this incident. So with that said, I actually do have a couple different speaking engagements and different interviews coming up, in the weeks to come.
Right, right. Now you said you were an electrician before. How are they handling it? Did they give you a call? They tell you take off for however long, or what did they say?
So I work for AT&T.
Right.
They've been very understanding with what's going on in my situation. They actually have given me a couple weeks paid time off, and I'm not having to put in any of my vacation days, any EPO 1 days, or
That's
anything
good.
like that. They've just been very understanding, and they just want what's best for me.
Right, right. That's good that you have a job that understands what you went through and they're not pressuring you to come back right away.
What?
Now, we got to dig into the money that you've raised through these GoFundMes that you created. And did you expect to get, over $100,000? The goal was $15,000, but it's over $100,000 at this point.
Yeah. So last time I looked at it, it was around 150,000.
Right.
And I remember when I actually set it up, I was like, well, it'll never get to 15,000, but at least that's something that I tried to do for the victims. So the 150,000 is definitely unexpected. It is very appreciated. The gratitude and support and love that I get. I can't say more or can't do more but say thank you. But with that money, I do want to raise awareness on gun awareness, gun violence awareness, violence, mental illness, and just some other things that I think could help the community, not just the Black community, but a community as a whole, as America, as I look at it.
All right, I understand that. Also, someone else created a GoFundMe for your daughter, and they've raised over $100,000 themselves. How
Right.
does that feel?
So his name is Yashir Ali.
Right.
We've been texting, or we've been, DMing each other on Twitter and texting each other over the phone. It was a very great gesture that he set up for me and my daughter, and yeah, I respect it a lot. And I've told him that several times, and he was just really proud and happy for what I did, and
Right.
I can't thank him enough.
So you didn't know him?
No, I didn't know him at all.
It was just random and decided to do that for
Mhm.
you. That's good. That's good as people looking out for you like that.
Right.
Have your family been? How have they been? They've been surrounding you, helping you out with this time as well?
Yeah, it's been a lot of love for my family. They've been there every step of the way, from my mother to my father, both my sisters, and even my annoying little daughter has been there every step of the way. Well, every step of the way since she's got back. She's been fighting me like I want to fight and climbing on my back and stuff like that. But
Right.
she's definitely a blessing, and I'm glad she's here, and she takes a lot of the stress away when I get to see her.
That's good. That's wonderful. All right, so we're going to sum it up with, what do you think you're going to do in the future? I know that you said you were an electrician and you do want to do speaking engagements, but like 5 years from now, where do you see yourself with this whole thing happening?
5 years from now, that's a good question. I feel like because unfortunately, I don't think this will be the last, gun incident.
Right.
So hopefully, the foundation that I'm going to start, it can help other gun incidences or events that happen, and we can just bring awareness to it and try to help, people that are also in that situation. You can help, just violence, period, with the foundation that I want to create. And the more people that make foundations, the more light you bring on it, the more people see it. Something has to be done.
Right.
It can't just keep being looked over. So that's what I see myself in about 5 years. 5 years from now, because even 5 years from now, it's still going to be fresh on my mind.
Right, right. I agree with that. Well, before you leave, I did want to get you a briefcase because you've been making a lot of business moves here. And
Thank you.
not going to spill any beans about where you're headed next. But I
Right.
got you a briefcase, a note card, and some glasses to remind you to keep cool. All
Okay.
right?
Thank you.
Here you go. And thank
Thank
you
you.
again for
Thank
coming
you.
by.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you for tuning in to Tiger Talk. This is Marcherie Savage, and we had a great man to come by named James Shaw. Make sure that you check out his GoFundMe pages and support what he's doing because it's for the betterment of America. Tune in next time.